Thank you all. There we go. Thank you all for coming out. It is February the 16th. We are here on our amazing wine and dine where we discover new wines and new foods and pairings. If you are new here and don't know what we're talking about, get with the person that invited you. But I just want you to sit back and enjoy. We're going to have our fearless leader, Mr. Roy Rickard, and Mr. Peter Antonio, I think is going to be to give us our toast tonight. So if you have a glass of any type of beverage, liquid, raise it up for our toast and get started with our show.
Actually, I'll let Rory handle the toast, then I'll take over after that. So,
Rory? All right.
All right, so hey, I'm looking at it. We have exactly 60 days, 61 days left in our Waikiki qualification. And I just want to tell everybody, I see the work going out there. Keep it up. You know, wine is an amazing thing to share with people. And, you know, think about all those people that don't understand that there's a real wine out there and they've been duped their whole life. They don't know yet. We got to get it out to them. So cheers to everybody spreading the word about this incredible Wine of the Month Club and these incredible wines. And I'll say one thing with Peter, because I'm looking at it. Boy, did we have some good wine. Cheers.
Cheers.
Okay. Oh, you're
Carry on.
You're not going to drink it.
Oh.
It's bad luck if you don't drink it.
All right, Jen,
Okay.
If you don't want to drink it, you don't
introduce. You're muted, darling.
your skillet is.
I swear I ain't drink a thing. Okay.
But it's supposed to get really hot.
All right.
Okay. So we have tonight we are going to have Miss Phyllis Jackson. She's doing our entree, and we have Miss Jackie Duhan, and she is doing our appetizer. And then Miss Stacy, she is doing some amazing stuff with our chocolate. So I cannot wait. So let's go ahead and check in with, we'll do, go to the appetizer and then we'll kind of check in with Mr. Peter because he's making a salad as well.
Well, thank you, Jen, and thank you for having me, and thank you, Sheila, for inviting me. I'm kind of excited because last time I got to cook, I kind of had to improvise because I could not find the ingredients I was going to.
Again?
Tonight, I am actually going to show y'all, and this is really easy, but it's a cool appetizer. You take and you wrap them in bacon. So I'm going to be wrapping these really rapidly in bacon. And what I did also was I got some, for the healthier side, I did get some Applewood turkey bacon as well as the thick cut Black Forest bacon. So I'm going to wrap those up, throw them in the pan. Also for you, I am fixing what is called a mistake dip to dip those in. And it's kind of funny how this evolved. But a friend of mine was really making just a ranch dip, okay? And she picked up the wrong packet and she picked up the Fiesta Ranch instead of the ranch. And by doing so, it became a hit with the family and we have been using it for years and it goes great with vegetables, you know, the little dippers for the water chestnuts and bacon. And so that's what I'm bringing y'all tonight.
Sounds great. Can't wait. Thank you.
All right, Mr. Peter, show us your salad.
So, well, it's good. This is a complicated one. I'm making a radicchio and endive salad with candied walnuts, blue cheese, and orange. So what I'm going to start here is I have the walnuts that I put in the oven and toasted so they're brown. And I'm going to make the caramel, which is one of these things when you look at it, you go, it's a little scary because you're just putting raw, just dry sugar into a pan, and you think, oh, that can't work. But and then I'm going to take, I'm going to have my spatula sprayed with some cooking spray because this stuff will get sticky. But you can see it's starting, the sugar's starting to melt. And what'll happen as I go for a few minutes is it'll turn into a sort of a, well, caramely brown. And one of the reasons this makes it work so beautifully with the wine is those caramel notes you get in the wine from the wood, from the process, end up getting together nicely with that part of the coating. And then, of course, the nuts in wine, or just red wine especially, are a magic combination too. So, so I have I have this going, and I gotta keep stirring it and watching it very carefully. After that, I have, you'll see in a few minutes, Adele here my mother has done, taking care of all the trimming and arrangement of the radicchio and endive and the orange segments. So I'm making her do some extra exercise, carrying this, because my bladder is like 15 pounds. Here, I don't know if it's visible, carry it over here. And I don't know if you can see this now, hopefully. Is that showing up?
I see a corner.
Oh, you see a corner. What about them?
No,
Okay, we gotta go, you take it quickly. Okay, gotta be careful because you see the sugar is already starting to burn if I'm not careful. So
yeah,
turn the heat down a little and keep that going. And we're just about there on the sugar, even though it's not all melted. But you can't mess with it with, so I'm just gonna turn the burner off and add the walnuts. And coat those. And I mean, these things are just like candy anyway. Makes a great snack, so I'm making a lot more than I need for the recipe here. And my camera's off and not watching me again, isn't it? Yeah.
mhm. There you go.
There we go. So, yeah, I got this new camera that's supposed to follow me around. And, haven't quite.
It was following Miss Adele.
Oh, okay. Well, that explains. It got the prettier person. So,
That's better.
so okay. I'm gonna take these, try to spread them out. I don't know if you saw, I coated both the. I have parchment paper that I then put with. I put cooking spray on top of the parchment paper because you really, otherwise this stuff would be like glue.
Click on it.
So, salt, please. And you gotta get, anytime you cook anything that needs to be salted, you want to salt it while it's hot. So, so let's, why don't we move on and we'll come back to me. I'll show you how the dressing part of this operation is made.
All right,
Okay.
Phyllis, you need to unmute.
Okay. I am making a strip steak, New York steak. So, and it calls for a cast iron skillet, which I've never used before, other than as a child maybe, but I don't think I did. And it calls for the steak, cremini mushrooms.
Cremini mushrooms, yeah.
Calls for that, and asparagus, which is right here. Can you see it? My asparagus. So I got this from the store. This is thyme, and I planted it in this pot because it looked like it would root for me. So I just put it in the pot. And this is just mostly for garnish and maybe a little bit of flavor. I got a little bit of garlic I'm going to sprinkle in it. And it calls for salt and pepper and butter. And that's about it. And the steak takes like 3 minutes on each side, and then another 2 minutes. And then I add the asparagus and all of the other garnishes.
Okay, so we'll see you back in a couple minutes.
Okay.
Now the good part, dessert.
All right, Miss Stacy.
Hey there. You know, Valentine's Day was just 2 days ago. And you all probably have some leftover fruits. Maybe that significant other of yours actually brought you dipped strawberries, and now they've gotten kind of soggy in the refrigerator. Let's make our own. So I am making a red wine dark chocolate fondue. I've already melted, I used the Ghirardelli chocolate chips, the dark chocolate, 60% cacao. And I used pure vanilla. I did a little research on using pure vanilla versus imitation vanilla. Pure vanilla only uses water and alcohol to saturate the vanilla bean to get the flavoring out of it. Whereas imitation adds chemicals.
Custard or
No. And the thing with pure vanilla is it's kind of expensive, but we're down here on the border, and yeah, this one kind of has got a little mushed. But hey, the contents is good. And so I put a little bit of vanilla in, condensed milk, melted it all together. And I feel like I forgot an ingredient that I needed to say. Let's see here. Oh, and butter. You needed the butter. Now I've melted it all. It did not burn. Chocolate, you guys, smells amazing when it's melted. I'm just saying. And now we're gonna flavor it up, and we're gonna add some jam. It calls for raspberry jam, and half a cup of wine. Well, originally when I saw this, it was gonna be the Grenache. So I grabbed the Discovery's Grenache, and I've got a half a cup here, so I'm gonna pour that right into the fondue. And then I'm gonna get 2 tablespoons of my jam, which I'm using a 4-berry jam. How about we put the jam in on the right side of the spoon? That always helps, right? And I'm just putting it right on in there. And then I'm going to use some kosher salt. And they say we need to use kosher salt because it is a more coarse salt, and it will help offset the bitterness of the dark chocolate.
Yeah, that's one of the tricks people don't know about salt. Salt actually makes everything taste sweeter in some ways because what it does is it blocks the bitter receptors on your tongue so you can taste the flavors that are there. So it's one of the tricks I learned in my morning grapefruit. I always put salt on it and it makes it taste sweeter.
See, I put salt on grapefruit and I thought it was just because I'm a saltaholic. So there was a reason I put salt on.
See, you didn't even know.
I didn't even know. I'm actually putting that in my notes because I'm gonna add that to my wine trivia.
Yeah, I mean, salt has a lot of, even the bitterness in wine, the bitterness in chocolate, and everything. That's bitter vegetables, asparagus, some of the things Italians love, the rest of us don't. Yeah, they taste much better once you salt them. A little bit, yes.
So
What's
yeah,
next, Miss Jen?
I'm gonna dip it in a variety of things. I've got a bunch of stuff, so when you guys come back, I'll show you the different things I'm gonna use to dip into the chocolate, including one that Sheila mentioned.
Oh my goodness.
I've got one sitting in here.
Okay, so what's next, Miss Jen?
Let's go over to Miss Jackie. What you doing?
Yeah, Jack, how's it going?
Okay, so I'm already plated, guys. I prepared a little bit ahead, and I don't know if you can see, this is absolutely delicious, and it is a very easy treat. But this is bacon wrapped water chestnuts, and then, like I said, I prepared a mistake dip, and what that is sour cream with a Fiesta ranch dressing mixed with a regular ranch dressing. So I'm very interested to see how those flavors taste with the Pinot Noir. Also, on top of the turkey one, I put a little feta cheese because I wanted to see the creaminess of how that cheese paired. So I'm getting ready to pair if y'all are ready for me to do that.
Yeah.
Well, the combinations and the pairing are fascinating. Let's do that. Let's go around everyone and then we'll go back and let you do the tasting and the pairing, okay?
Absolutely.
Okay.
Ready when you are.
So, so as I have the walnuts are all done, and now I've got to make the dressing. So, and that, all this caramel that's left over in the pan, I don't want to waste, so I'm gonna add some orange juice and red wine vinegar to the pan and deglaze the pan to cook out some of that, and then put that into my dressing. So, just gonna get that heated up and whisk it around so it melts some of that caramel. And while that warms up, I'm gonna start the basics. I don't tend to buy bottled salad dressing because it's just too easy to make them at home. And this is the basic method. Take some mustard. I like to just use the whisk to grab the mustard. It's a great way to kind of measure it out. And the mustard is what makes it come together. So this is all boiling nicely.
Any particular brand of mustard or just whichever?
Yeah, I mean, it depends what you want for flavor. I have this, I believe it's Mealy, which is a really nice mustard, but you can use, I like a Dijon mustard, but sometimes I tend to buy fancy flavored mustards because this is the occasion where they come into use. Because that gives you so much flavor in your salad dressing right from the mustard there. So I now have my mustard and my vinegar and get it whisked together till it's creamy. And then you just slowly drizzle in olive oil until it turns into until it thickens up. And that's going to be the dressing.
Now, do you use white vinegar or apple cider vinegar?
In this case, I use red wine vinegar, but again, that's where, this is where your variations on what you can do with the salad dressing. Red wine vinegar is good. Balsamic vinegar, it can be a little sweet, so you got to use it in the right case. I love sherry vinegar, or too, but red wine and sherry vinegar are usually my go-tos with it. Sometimes I'll use a balsamic. I have this company locally, and I'm sure there's ones in most cities that make all these different flavored vinegars, and they can be absolutely terrific. I have a cranberry, a white balsamic with cranberry and pear.
Oh, that sounds delicious.
That I made a salad with recently, and that was. But your dressing, this is going to beat any bottle dressing you're going to get, and it's not a lot of work. I know I'm here with Jackie, who also throws together things in a moment's notice, seemingly out of nothing. So to her, it seems like really nothing. But yeah, this will make. Let's do a little taste. It's slightly warm. Yeah. So we have our dressing, and you see it just turns into a very thick and creamy dressing just from adding the olive oil. This is also, don't skimp on the olive oil. Buy the best stuff you can because there's nowhere for it to hide. I like Trader Joe's for olive oils. They're pretty reasonable, and this one is the one I'm using at the moment, the Sicilian. Has a nice peppery taste, and but it's not too aggressive like some of the ones can be. So I'm going to just add a little black pepper to that, and a little bit of salt. I have my collection of sea salts here, so I when I'm cooking, I use kosher salt for everything, but when I'm putting it on a finishing touch, that's where I go to the sea salt. I have, in this case, I'm using a white Malden sea salt because it has a really nice flakiness. So here's the salad. I think, can you see it now? Okay, good. And so I'm going to take some of you can see there's the radicchio, the orange, the endive. We're going to take some nuts, some of these walnuts that we've been snacking on since you were here with me last time. And the rest of them will become a snack. But so we take the walnuts and scatter them over here. Get that out of the way. and some blue cheese. Crumble that over it. Let's get more blue cheese. Can't have. We were at a restaurant recently where we had a salad that had like 2 crumbs of blue cheese. It was like finding buried treasure when we actually hit the blue cheese.
So, Mr. Peter, what's your take on white pepper compared to regular black pepper? Which is
for the most part, the biggest reason you use white pepper is because it doesn't make things look black and speckled. So if you're doing something like in a sauce and you don't want it to be colored, that's the biggest reason. They taste very similar. White pepper has a slightly different taste, and it's all a matter of what you like. But you know, there's really not a lot of difference. It's just basically whether you want the look of the black pepper, or whether you think it looks better with white. It's mostly an aesthetic thing. So I'm drizzling over a lot of this dressing, and normally I toss my salads with the dressing, but this one is so artfully arranged I can't mess it up like that. But it also means we can pick up a leaf and just eat it like a little lettuce wrap.
And we need 24 more people.
Yeah, that's yeah. We made too much for the 2 of us. So anyone want to come by? If you know where I am, you're welcome. So there's my salad. I will let's go around everyone, and then when we come back, I'll be tasting it.
Sounds good. Miss Jackie.
no, Phyllis, let's see
Oh,
where your
yeah.
steak's at. Phyllis, you're gonna mute. She's licking her
Okay.
fingers.
That's good. Okay, and I forgot to mention that this was a keto-friendly dish. If you guys are into keto, I am a little bit. So I've added my last ingredients: the butter, the I didn't use a lot of mushrooms. That was a lot, and I didn't use all the asparagus because that was a lot. So I'll add the mushrooms here. Not the mushrooms, the garlic. So I got the garlic. And I think it's supposed to cook for another 2 minutes and mine will be done.
Okay.
All right, so before we go to Miss Stacy for our dessert, I'm going to, Miss Jen asked me to explain why we are all here. We are here at our Amazing Wine Discoveries Club. It is a great opportunity to, like Rory said at the beginning, not everybody has the education of what a truly fine wine is. They go to the grocery store, me included, and you just pick what looks pleasing to you based on a pretty label, whether it's good or not. That is not the definition of a fine wine. I have discovered on my trips to Napa, going to the vineyards, the actual wineries, to discover exactly how true fine wine is made. And it shouldn't taste the same every year, guys. If you get a wine and it tastes the same every year, it's processed. It's not true fine wine. If you want to experience what a true fine wine is, and get a Napa Valley bucket list off of your to-do, join us. Come in as a customer. We'd love to have you for less than $100. You can come in and get 4 amazing wines, reds, whites, and try them. Every month it's something different. So your palate will get not used to it, but it will acquire the taste of the truly fine. Also, if you want to make it as a lucrative business, we have that opportunity too. So just get back with the person that invited you here, and they will give you all the details on how to become a customer or business partner. And also to teach you how to, truly enjoy a good fine wine. So thank you again for coming. We're going to continue with our chefs and see how our wines taste with their meals.
Yeah, before that, something you just said is something I think that I wanted to talk a little more about. You talked about your palate and how the wines change. What the thing is, everybody says, well, I'm not much of a wine. It's a matter, it's a muscle. You've got to train it. You've got to teach it. So the more you taste the wines, the more you taste it and look for it. That's where you can find, you learn to recognize the flavors. You're gonna, by now, a lot of the members here can recognize the Pinot Noir from the Cabernet, from the Merlot. Last week we were talking about the blind tasting we did in Napa at our harvest event. So we're going to be doing that around next year. So anyone who should practice and try to pay attention to the tasting notes and think about and recognize what's there. That way, next time you can go and say, okay, I got it. Now I see it. That's how you recognize. You hear all these things where they talk about, freshly mown grass and black pepper and, sounds on the sunny slope on the, moonlit night, crazy things. But but again, that part of that is because, well, they don't have a real story to tell. Because as you said, you go and you taste them, they all taste the same. In fact, if you're going to a regular store, the pretty label is probably your best bet anyway, because you're not going to taste much difference otherwise. But it's so when you taste wine, you start practicing, you start paying attention. So I mean, you see these competitions where people are supposed to recognize it. So you look at it, you look at the color. The color is if it's a little paler, you know what type of wine. Pinot Noirs aren't as dark as some others, although because this is a Napa Pinot, it tends to be more full-bodied, more rich. So it is darker. If you were seeing Pinots from like France or Oregon or something like that, they'd be much lighter. We do have some of those that come from like the Sonoma coast, but this particular one, this is our recent Grand Cru Pinot that the 2018 that we released recently is a very full bodied, not quite as full bodied as Nile, but Nile the wine, not Nile the person. I'm not going to comment on that. So you look at it, you take the rich, then you start smelling it. It's what can you smell? Pinot Noirs tend to have, cherry and black cherry is one of the most defining things in the Pinot Noir. Then you taste a little, say and try to pay attention as it goes down. What do you get first on your tongue? And then you pay attention to the finish, because it's going to stay there for a while. How long these fine wines have a really long finish. This one, 20, 30, 40 seconds later, you're still tasting new things. So that's the thing. You just start paying attention and thinking about it. And and maybe read the tasting notes, or maybe try it the other way. Try to make your own notes of what you taste, then go compare and see if I was just crazy or already had too much to drink, or whether. So you can kind of it's tasting wine is something that takes practice, and we try to encourage you to have as much practice as you can.
I like that one.
So okay. So I know someone who has some practice is Stacy. Let's see how the dessert's coming. You there, Stacy? I think maybe she had too
I
much.
had to lick my fingers clean before I touched my screen on my tablet.
Oh, okay. Yep. Got it.
So we've been sampling this. I've got kiwi, bananas, marshmallows, graham crackers, strawberries, of course, and then the orange I have is kind of unique. Coming from the Northland and now down in the deep South, I've never seen an orange look like this.
Oh,
and
wow.
It's called a Sumo Orange.
Yeah.
And it comes from Japan, and the reason why it's called a Sumo is because like the little nut on the top of this orange, it's just like the sumo wrestlers. And so it's kind of cool, but it really peeled really easily. It's a very loose skin, and so it peeled off very, very nicely on the orange wedges. Trying to get my camera there. There we go. And but they say it tastes like a mandarin. It's sweet like a mandarin orange, and there are no seeds.
No
So
seeds.
I thought, well, let's try it. But first, Sheila said, try it with a pickle.
Don't do it.
I have a pickle. Jen thinks I'm wrong. My husband is like, not so sure about this. So we will see. I'm just gonna, the dip itself is very liquidy and delicious. So down the hatch.
It's all the rave down here at the fair. Chocolate pickles.
No, deep fried pickles I'm all for. Ooh.
It works.
Yep.
I guess.
Oh.
It works.
There's no Mikey will try it. It's Stacy
And
will
I'm
try
not
it.
pregnant. It's a dill pickle and it actually gets kind of a sweet pickle taste to it with the chocolate and the wine.
Yep. Makes sense.
That was good. That was really good. I wasn't expecting, it really was good. I didn't expect that. I kind of thought she had lost it a little bit, but no, she's correct. But you know, the cool thing is you can have fun with the kids.
Yep.
You know, if you don't have a fondue pot, I do have a little crock pot that I can use instead. But we're just gonna take it right out of the pot here. 'Cause it's not even on the burner anymore.
Yeah. I like when I serve fondue, I have these little cast iron pots, these little tiny ones. I heat them up in the oven and then I just put the fondue in and it stays warm until it's done.
Now this is the ultimate s'more. Graham cracker with chocolate. And now the marshmallow, even though the marshmallow's not melted, it won't burn you this way.
Well, that's no fun.
Gonna be in a sugar coma tomorrow.
Well, I better do a strawberry. Huh? Oh, now these are way better than you can get in the stores.
It looks good.
That looks really good.
Okay, another thing, up in Minnesota, our strawberries on the end are white. These are red all the way through.
Oh, you got some.
Those
good
are
ones.
hothouse strawberries that are white.
Well, most supermarket
Minnesota.
strawberries are white until you get the really local ones.
Yep.
Because once they're red all the way through, they can't travel.
Mm-mm.
But those are the best.
You want to check on Miss Jackie?
Yes, Jackie, we're gonna let you eat finally.
Well,
Prada
hey,
is
over here,
hungry.
sorry, man, I'm from Louisiana. I like to eat. No, actually, like I say, it's a very simple appetizer, but it is really good with the salt and the crunch, and then you add the Mediterranean feta cheese. And then you dip it in the mistake dip, okay? So first I'm gonna I'll do the healthy version, okay? Since I'm trying to eat healthy, yeah, right. And I'm just gonna put a little dab of the mistake dip on the top, okay? Just kind of drizzle it around. And I am going to crunch. So between the saltiness and the crunch and the lightness of the taste of the water chestnut, I think it's going to balance. But then it has Greek feta cheese on it. So I'm very interested to see what this tastes like.
Sounds like a party in your mouth.
Yes.
The feta cheese alone is good.
Well, at least I didn't do Gouda or something like that. Y'all better watch out. You never know. First of all, that's delicious. I'm
Miss
sorry.
Prada wants some. Miss Prada wants some, Jackie.
Miss Prada's in her stroller. She's the co cook tonight. Wow. Now I've been drinking this wine all night. I must drink a whole bottle. Don't tell nobody. But those flavors of all of that, Peter, especially the feta, just exploded in my mouth.
Oh, yeah.
I didn't really, the water chestnut didn't do so much, but the saltiness of the turkey bacon and the feta. Yeah. Wow.
Yeah, that's a pretty salty dish, you're right. Wow, that should be a fun combination.
So is that a good pair? I mean, I know Pinot Noir pairs with just about everything, but would you have mixed that up a little differently?
Well, whatever you're drinking is always a good pairing, but red, Pinot Noir, especially, it'll pick up the pepperiness. It'll play well against the saltiness and the creaminess of the feta. So, and bacon and Pinot is a great combination too. So yeah, I see. I mean, you definitely want the full bodied Pinots like ours. The lighter bodied ones, you kind of get lost in that, but yeah, you tell me, is it a good pairing?
No, it was delicious. It was absolutely delicious. I want to try it with the regular bacon. And now y'all don't tell nobody because I've been eating like really good. So I'm like really being bad here, but I got to taste it. I'm still going to put some of this mistake dip on there. Y'all have to, I'm going to do a page on this recipe because it's phenomenal. But I do want to see what it tastes, if it tastes differently with the regular bacon. Yeah. It's actually more salty with the regular bacon, Peter.
Really interesting.
Yes.
Yeah, I mean, of course, the regular bacon is going to have more fattiness, and that's where the richness of the red wine is going to be valuable. But
it was more
that's also where the feta helped you out on the other one.
Yeah. Okay, that's what I got, guys. And I will make a page and hope you enjoy. And it's a quick appetizer when you have friends over, and it works.
Thank you so much.
You come up with the best
Thank you.
appetizers. I love it. So I got to come by sometime and see what you come up with. So okay, so I guess it's time to taste the salad here. And
Well, we got, yeah, Phyllis is over there too. I think she's ready. So we'll do the salad.
okay,
And
go
then
ahead,
Phyllis.
Phyllis. I won't let this make mistake wait. So go ahead.
Okay, so it's all done. And of course, it's in this hot skillet. This is what it looks like. Doesn't really look like the picture, but
There you go.
Got your weightlifting exercise there.
Yeah.
I tell you, I don't know how you guys do it with these cast iron skillets. That's a killer. I'm gonna have to work out a little bit more.
Just lift that about 5 times a day. There's your gym exercise.
There you
Oh my
go.
gosh, I believe it. So this is, well, it looks like Kelvin's sleeping, so I'm not gonna bother him. I am going to taste this. Asparagus is gonna be really crispy. I'm not much on mushrooms, but you know, I'm a risk taker.
I didn't used to like mushrooms, and then all of a sudden I kind of figured it out. Like I can't get enough of them. And
So yeah, I wonder if they should be cooked a little bit more.
yeah, maybe. It's you want to get the mushrooms really hot on the outside first.
They're hot, but and they're good.
Okay, and now I want to hear with the wine because Pinot Noir and mushrooms is like the pairing.
That's good.
Yeah.
I'm not sure what the flavors are, but it is very tasty. Okay, now let's try the steak. It's not red.
Oh,
It's perfect for me.
You're the one eating it, so it better be.
yep. However you like it. I like to
It's
chase
so good.
mine.
I felt like a little bit of spice in there.
Yeah, because there are some spices that are not water soluble that are alcohol soluble. So it's one of the reasons wine is such a great thing with food is because it brings out flavors you just wouldn't taste otherwise.
Yeah, I don't have spice. I mean, I don't have anything spicy in my food, but I have pepper. But
The
It
pepper,
brought out-
alone, that's what you're tasting. It's the pepper. The pepper and the wine together do that.
it's a little spicy.
Yep.
But it's very good. It's delicious. I'll have to make this again.
That's the
Make
key.
sure you get that page ready so we can get that
Hey,
recipe.
my page is already ready.
It is, that's right.
I was ready for tonight.
You did wonderful.
I was so excited. I was like, hurry up. This day's got to come.
Now we get you Google AdSense in 2 more weeks, right?
I'm working on it, Sheila. I am. Trust me. I got 102 pages right now.
Perfect.
Wow.
So, but I got to advertise them, and that's my downfall is sitting there
We'll get you there.
advertising.
We'll get you there.
It'll get there.
I know.
Stacy's munching.
We've got to do it, Sheila. We got to do it before I go to Lima.
Yes. Roy, you're
That's
gonna have you're gonna have a student in Lima in about 2 months. A
Really?
month. Yes.
Who's that?
You.
No.
Not sure if she's going now.
I'm actually going. I'm waiting
Yes.
for my passport. They're coming out for surveillance for my pack out on the 26th of this month. So it's coming.
So you're branching out to Lima, Roy.
There you go. I'll have space for him.
That's really cool.
All right, Miss Stacy, what you munching over there?
I'm kind of liking the wine with just the plain fruit now. I'm thinking if I have much more chocolate, I won't sleep tonight. And Char knows my secret of getting my steps in. I can't turn my camera off here though to get my steps in, but I do laps around the house now because inside the house because it's so open. So indoor gym, I guess.
I've been there, done that. You don't put it on, you don't put it on your dog?
Put it on your dog, huh?
No, I was tripping over her earlier.
No, put the watch on the dog and let her run around, get your steps.
Depends on the dog. If it's the younger one, yeah, that would actually, we actually talked about it. But that would defeat the purpose of having this watch.
Okay, yeah, I guess, yeah.
So how did that taste with that orange?
The orange and the chocolate, oh,
Yeah.
it was amazing. David's already snuck back in here and just grabbed the orange. The orange is really a soft sweet. And so going with the dark chocolate and then with the Grenache, it just kind of, it's almost like a dreamsicle with a cherry.
Oh, yum.
It was really good.
Good.
And I'm not a big orange eater, so that's.
All right, guys, so just get with the person that brought you here. We're gonna let Miss Jen close this out. We had an
Hold on,
amazing day.
I
Oh,
haven't-
that's right. Peter's gonna do his salad.
Yeah, so. here
It's
we're-
too pretty to break up. I saw it on the camera.
Yeah, well, I'm just gonna take one, just like I said, like a lettuce wrap and eat it that way.
Step towards Miss Odell. We can't see your face,
Oh.
Peter.
All right,
Am I here?
you're here, I wasn't.
There you go.
He's hogging the camera.
No, you are.
Oh, sorry.
You're
That's
good.
my kind of salad, finger salad.
Very good.
So you just wrap up an individual leaf.
Yep,
Okay. That's beautiful.
so,
Yeah, we
It
need
was pretty.
a few more people.
yeah, it's like everything's stacked up. The GTO, then the endive, then the orange and everything else, so now for the moment of truth.
You're hidden again.
Okay. And yeah, the wine picks up the blue cheese and the walnuts and balances out the bitterness and the green, so that works really beautifully. So I guess that's it, so.
Close us
Thank
out,
you.
Miss Jen.
Thank you all all the food looks amazing and I can't wait to see the pages. Y'all are awesome. And thank you for coming on and doing this with me. We have a wonderful family here. I love y'all. Thank you so much. Everybody have a good night.
Okay.